Have you ever sat down to journal about something important, something that you need to process, and felt your whole body say no? Like maybe your chest starts to tighten, or maybe suddenly you felt exhausted. Maybe you opened your journal and immediately found something else that you needed to do. If that has happened to you, this episode is for you because that is resistance, and we need to learn how to work with it and not against it. Sometimes journaling isn't hard because we don't know what to write. It's hard because we have too much to write. We know exactly what we need to write about, but that's exactly why we can't. The body keeps saying, not yet, maybe later or tomorrow, not like this, not without support. And if you ever felt anxious, tearful, shut down, numb, or avoidant around journaling, hear me when I say this. There is nothing wrong with you. Your nervous system is doing its job. It is protecting you from going where you're not ready to go. The question isn't, why can't I journal about this? The real question is, how do I create enough safety to meet myself gently? And that's what we're going to talk about today. In the last 2 weeks, we talked about why you need to pause before journaling and what happens in your brain when you do. This week is going to be a little different. This week, we're talking about what to do when journaling itself feels too intense and when the pause isn't just helpful, it's necessary. So, today I'm going to share why your body resists certain topics and why that's actually wise, how to use meditation as a regulator and not just a reflection, and of course, a grounding practice that you can use anytime journaling just feels like too much or too intense. This is trauma informed work, which means we're going to take our time. We're going to move slowly and honor what our body is telling us. Hey, I'm Jaleesa, and welcome to week 3 of the pause. Now, before we go any further, I want to be super clear. This episode isn't therapy. So if you're working through significant trauma, please consider working with a licensed therapist alongside your journaling practice. What I'm offering today is a way to approach difficult feelings with more care. A way to journal that respects your nervous system instead of overwhelming it. And if at any point during this episode you feel triggered or too activated, you can pause the video. You can step away and you can come back when you're ready. That's how we honor our body. That too is the practice. Okay? Great. Now let's talk about why resistance happens. Your nervous system's job is to keep you safe, right? And when you start journaling about something painful like trauma, grief, loss, or something you haven't fully processed, your nervous system scans, is it safe to go here right now? And if the answer is no, if you're feeling lonely or if you're already stressed, if you don't feel grounded, your body will create resistance. Now, this might show up as shallow breathing, a tight chest, a racing heart, or you suddenly feel numb or blank. Even creating distractions like, before I journal, maybe I should go clean the kitchen first. Similar avoidances like opening your journal and closing it immediately. Now, none of this means that you're failing or doing something wrong. It just means your body is saying, we need more support before we go there. Some therapists talk about this window of tolerance, right? It's a zone where you can process your emotions without getting overwhelmed. So when you're inside of the window, you can feel things and reflect on them. You can cry and still breathe. You can journal about the hard things and not be consumed by them. But when you're outside of the window, you're either too anxious, panicked, spiraling, maybe too shut down or numb. And here's why that matters. Journaling from outside the window doesn't help. It can actually make things worse because you're reinforcing that overwhelm or disconnect. So the first step isn't to go straight to writing or journaling, it's to get back inside of that window of tolerance. And that's where meditation comes in. Again, not as a reflection, but as regulation. In the first 2 weeks, we use meditation to create space and to gain access to insight. That is meditation as a reflector. It helps you to see things clearly. But today, we're using meditation a little differently. We're using it as a regulator to help our nervous systems feel safe enough to approach things differently. This means we start with our body and not the story that we've been telling ourselves. We are actually focusing on sensations and not necessarily analyzing everything. We are building a sense of safety first, and we only journal about what feels manageable right now. This isn't about pushing through, but approaching it with care. Let me give you an example. Let's just say you've experienced something recently. Maybe it's loss, a relationship ending, grief, something painful. Your instinct might be to sit down and journal it out and get it out. And you're not necessarily wrong, but if your nervous system isn't ready, you can feel like you're being thrown into the deep end. You might spiral out on your page. You might even freeze or become avoidant, or you might feel worse afterwards. So instead, we want to start with grounding, the pause. We want to remind our body we are here, we are safe, our feet are on the floor, we can breathe, and then we approach journaling gently, slowly, with only as much that feels okay today. We're going to practice a grounded meditation that is created to help you feel safe in your body before you journal about anything difficult. Remember, this meditation today is about regulation and not necessarily relaxation. You don't have to feel calm, you just need to feel present and grounded. So, if there's something you want to journal about and it feels scary or tense, hold that lightly in your awareness. We're not going there just yet. We're just preparing our nervous systems to approach it with care. So go ahead, find that comfy seat where your feet are planted firmly on the floor. And when you're ready, take a moment to notice where you are without moving your head. Just notice what you can see around you, the items in the room, the colors, the shapes, the light. Now close your eyes if it feels safe, or gaze forward slightly and notice what you can hear, any near or far sounds, just settling yourself in the present moment. Telling your nervous system, I'm here in this room, in this moment. I'm not in the past. I am not in fear. I am here. Now bring your attention to your feet. Feel them on the floor. Feel your sit bones in whatever seat you're in. And feeling the support that is beneath you. Noticing your back against the chair or wall, or just feeling your spine being held upright. A reminder that you are supported and you are being held by the ground beneath you. inviting you to place one hand on your heart and one on your belly. Feel the warmth of your hands as the chest rises and falls with the breath. You are safe. Now bring your attention to your breath, not changing it, just noticing. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Letting the exhale be a little longer than the inhale. This signals to your nervous system that it's safe to slow down. In through your nose, out through your mouth. In and out. If at any point you feel too much, too overwhelmed, or even shut down, know that you can open your eyes, wiggle your toes, and take a look around the room. You can always come back to where you are because that's the practice too. Now, with your next few breaths, I'm going to invite you to imagine that you are creating space within, like you're expanding the safety that can hold whatever you're feeling. You're not trying to feel more, you're just trying to make room and make space for whatever is here, for whatever wants to be written. And as you breathe, notice, do you feel grounded enough to approach that difficult topic today? Does your body feel settled enough to journal a little bit about it? Or does your body need more grounding first, more pausing? Do you need more time? Remember, there is no wrong answer, just answer honestly. In a moment, you'll open your eyes and you're going to make a choice about what feels safe to journal about today. But before we do, take one more deep breath in, complete exhale out. Feel your feet on the floor, your hands on your body. You are here. You are safe. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes and grab your journal. So here's your journal prompt for today. This is a little different from the other week, so go with me here. Instead of diving straight into the difficult thing, you're going to ask yourself one question. What feels safe to explore today? Okay, maybe two. And what can wait? So, what feels safe to explore today and what can wait? This question gives you the permission to slow down, to meet yourself gently. Maybe today you can journal about how you're feeling in general terms without going into all of the details. Maybe you can journal about what supports you need, or maybe you can just journal, this feels too big today, and that's okay too. Or maybe because you are grounded first, you feel ready to journal a little bit about the hard thing. And that's okay too. So go ahead and pause to take your 3 to 5 minutes. I'll be here when you're done. Welcome back. Whatever you journal or didn't journal, you know you did it right. Because the goal isn't to force yourself through difficulty. The goal is to build a relationship with yourself and your journal that is based on trust and not demand or overwhelmed. When you honor your body's pace, you're teaching your nervous system that we are safe. We can slow down. We don't have to do this all at once or over time. That safety creates capacity, and you'll be able to slowly approach harder things because your body knows you won't overwhelm it. I said this before, but I want to say it again because it is very important to me, for you, and for myself. If you're working through significant trauma, please, 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 again, consider working with a therapist. Journaling is powerful, but it's not a replacement for professional support. Some signs that you may need additional help: you're writing about trauma consistently makes you feel worse or not better. You're having these intrusive thoughts or flashbacks, and you're not feeling safe in your body most of the time. Your thoughts feel too big to hold alone. Listen, there is no shame in seeking support. In fact, it's one of the wisest things that you can do for yourself. Okay, so next week is our final week of this series, and I'm so excited to share it with you. I can't talk. And I'm so excited to share it with you. I'm going to walk you through my personal 15-minute practice, how I combine meditation and journaling in real life. Not this perfect version that people talk about, but the real messy me, human version that has sustained me through grief, growth, and everything in between. It's the practice that I teach my students, and it's the foundation of everything we've been building together over these last few weeks. So until next time, don't forget to think, write, heal, and be gentle with yourself. And remember, you don't have to journal about everything today. See you next week.